We are recording is in progress. We are live. What's good? Guys, if you don't know me, my name is Jordan LaSavage. Yes, that's my real name. Shit, people call me a savage. They call me La Crypto Savage. I think honestly it's because I have a lot of information in my head that I've been studying for years about this stuff. Guys, I found out about Bitcoin in 2017. And low key, I've been obsessed with it ever since. Thank you, Mary. I've been obsessed with it ever since. And guys, I'm just here to share the information I have, share some of the understanding I have. So that helps you guys become more informed with your crypto portfolio, your crypto investments. I'm here to share what I know. Hopefully it benefits you guys. If not, it's all good. Yo, I appreciate all of you guys. I appreciate the love. And so first question I have for you guys, because I like to start off with like some interaction, see where the crowd's at, see what you guys are feeling. How y'all feeling about crypto right now? How are you guys feeling about crypto right now? Like, be real with me, guys. Be honest. This is a safe space. No one's gonna judge you. Awesome. Why are you feeling awesome, Mary? How you guys feel about crypto? Drop it in the chat. Drop it in the chat. I feel like I want to throw all my money at it while it's down. I feel the same. I feel the same. I think we can go a little bit lower. I'm good. Josh is good. Isaiah says it's changing his life. Buy the dip. Yeah. You guys already know DCA every day. Y'all already know. Is there anybody? Come on, let's be real here. Like, I'm gonna be real. Like, yo, like shit tanked. And like it kind of like it kind of hurt, you know. It's like nobody likes it didn't hurt. Like we understand on a higher level that markets have to breathe, they have to go up, they have to go down. But yeah, there we go. There's some honesty, there's some transparency. Cara said, feeling like I should have moved to USDT while it was high. Sorry if I say your name wrong. Juliana said confused but at the same time, confused but confident at the same time. Yeah, confused because you don't understand what's happening. I also feel the same way, Cara. Like, you know, that's a lesson though. Like if you realize that, like in those lessons, that's a point, first point I want to make with you guys is that feeling, and I'm sure Cara's not the only one, but she's the one brave enough to say it. Like who wishes they would have took more profits? Drop a one. Come on, let's be real. Wish I would have took more profits. I wish I would have took more profits. I'm straight up like, because like I was saying, like nobody wants to see their bags go down. Nobody wants to see their investments maybe even go back to where they were. Maybe some of you guys are actually in drawdown. You know, but wherever you're at, I want to put a picture in your head. I want to paint a perspective today that allows you to zoom out, allows you to really understand what you're a part of, and allows you to like have that and to instill that confidence. Yes, I don't want to clear confusion. And that's how, and you guys are in the right place. So pat yourself on the back. I'm grateful you're here. Congratulate yourself. You're here to learn. That's what we're all here to do is we're here to learn, create more understanding, and like ultimately build that confidence and conviction that allows you to become a successful investor, because people who profit in this market are the people who are here before others. And guys, if you're on this call, if you own cryptocurrency, if you're a part of this community, if you're a part of IM, you guys are a part of a very small part of people that are doing this right now. You know, there's estimates that only 25% of US adults in the United States have cryptocurrency. And that's a high number. That's one of the highest that we're seeing globally. There's estimates that only 4% of people in the world hold cryptocurrency. So if you're here, you have crypto, you're ahead of the curve, guys. You're at the right place at the right time. But we do have some due diligence to go over. We have some stuff to talk about. A lot of stuff that's been going on in the market. Let me make sure I'm sharing the right screen. Screen one, cool. So there's some stuff we got to talk about that's been happening in the market, and I want to paint a picture for you guys that hopefully clears up some of that confusion you guys have, maybe allows you to see things a little bit differently, you know. And what I'm talking about, guys, here, got to set this aside. We got to make this straight up and straightforward so we know, understand here. I'm talking about investing in cryptocurrencies. I'm talking about like portfolio. I look at crypto in a way that this is what I'm gonna retire off of. This is my stack. This is where I'm putting the chips for the long term, right? So what I'm not going to be talking about is day trading, short-term movements. I'm not a person who operates like that within this market. I'm not someone who's swinging the highs, swinging the lows. I'm someone who's putting my wealth here, similar to, you know, what 401ks are like. You know, you take a percentage of your income every week, every paycheck. you put it into a 401k, right? You let that money grow over a long, long, long period of time over your working life, knowing that one day you're going to have a big old stack of cash right there. It's going to take care of you. It's going to take care of your family. It's going to take care of your future, right? And your loved ones. Like, that's what I'm here to talk about, guys. And I want to paint that picture because honestly, don't take this the wrong way. If this is you, and I'm not pointing this at anybody, it shouldn't be directed. You shouldn't take this as like personally. That's just personal development. You shouldn't take nothing personally. But honestly, I feel like a lot of people are picking up breadcrumbs and they're missing the cake when it comes to cryptocurrency in this market, in this asset class. They're picking up breadcrumbs. They're focused on the little things. They're focused on this Dogecoin, this meme coin, this short-term trend, this crazy thing. And they're missing the cake. They're missing the big old fat juicy cake that is the birth of an entirely new form of money, an entire new form asset class. And that's what I want to inform you guys. That's the information I want to share because I've always had this approach to this market where I realized, because if you guys want to hear my story, what happened to me, I'm looking at the monthly chart here in Bitcoin. I'm going to kind of point out some key areas I'm looking at in a sec here, but listen, I want to take you back in time to 2017 in this market cycle over here, guys, and just kind of give you some experience of what I went through and kind of shaped my opinions and my strategy and what do I do now. So I bought my first Bitcoin right about here in the middle of November 2017. I bought my first Bitcoin at $6,000. And over that next 4 or 5 weeks there was honestly, I thought I did it. I'm like, holy shit, bro, we're getting rich. This is it. Bitcoin's, you put some money in something and you see it quadruple and like, or you see it 3x in like a matter of weeks, you're riding high. But obviously we all know this story and we all know a bunch of people who said they could have, would have sold it at this type, out of this high. But then we saw the market correct hard for the next 2 years. Market prices hit that high and fell off. And, I wish I would have took some profits. I wish I sold a lot of my crypto in here. I wish I wouldn't have did that. Right. And so the lessons I've learned since being in the market since way back here, and obviously we all know what happens next. What happened to crypto last year, 2 years ago, a year and a half ago, in fall of 2020? Well, crypto did that thing again where it just goes kaboom, right? And this is something, if you put it on the log scale on your chart, this maybe you didn't know that before, but this allows you to see the cycle that was all being scrunched up. So it's a logarithmic scale. As you can see, crypto kind of does this. It goes up and then it goes down, and then it goes up and then it goes down. And we went up. And honestly, guys, it's looking like we're entering into a period where crypto markets could retrace, where prices could be dropping. Maybe prices reverse and go higher. Sure, who knows? But we want to be prepared for all scenarios. And so I want to paint that long-term picture for you guys. And I want to point the first level when we take it back out here to the monthly chart, and we're looking at Bitcoin here and we're noticing these trends, put it back off the log scale. And we notice, guys, Bitcoin took off in October 2020, hit a high of 63,000 before returning to 29, before going back up to 69, now back at 37. So we've honestly kind of been trapped in a range right here. But since price took off here, we've been very, very bullish. And the overall sentiment of crypto has been what? Very, very bullish, very excited. Most things you see about cryptocurrency are extremely positive. You hear stories of people who bought random X coin and turned it into millions of dollars. You hear people that almost every single thing in the entire market, for that matter, is at a gain right now when we're looking at a time frame of about 2 years. And so what we're seeing right here is anybody who entered right here is still, even given current market prices, in an extreme amount of profit, right? Anybody who bought the market here is an extreme amount of profit. And so the point I'm making here, the point I want to illustrate to you guys is, even when I was a noob and I was buying into these highs here, and I didn't do anything about it, and I didn't understand what was going on. Me buying, if you would have bought cryptocurrency, if you would have even bought this high here in December of 2017, only a few short years later, 3 years later, the $20,000 entry, even if you bought the high, The price has tripled since then in 3 years. And so, guys, I'm sure all you guys have known this, but maybe some of you don't. This is the fastest growing asset class in the world. There's no better performing asset than Bitcoin, and I don't think there will be. This is a trend that's just gotten started, especially when you consider the adoption rate of this as a network. A lot of people say we're in the late 90s. If you would compare this to the internet adoption, being that we only have a few million users of cryptocurrency, considering there's billions of people in the world. So, and I want to point out the fact that too, if you maybe you're one of the, what I just pointed out with it buying in here and where we're at now, maybe you were someone who had bought up here, or you bought up here, or you bought in here, or you bought in here, right? And maybe you're sitting in some drawdown right now. But if you're patient and you understand what this asset class is, and you understand this class, this is something new, it has a lot of long-term potential. Guys, I'm not worried. I'm not tripping. And I'll bet most of my net worth on the fact that Bitcoin one day will be up here somewhere. And honestly, probably in this time frame too. Because Bitcoin, if you did Bitcoin has these things called cycles. And these cycles correlate with a major, really important thing with Bitcoin called the halving. So every year, every 4 years, Bitcoin supply is reduced. The amount of Bitcoin created is reduced. And that's going to happen all the way until they're not making any more Bitcoin. There's only going to be 21 million Bitcoin ever. We're already at almost 19 million Bitcoin, meaning almost 90% of the supply is already circulating, right? Because when Bitcoin was first created, they used to make 50 Bitcoin every 10 minutes. 50 Bitcoin every 10 minutes. And then in 2016, right? It was created in 2012. Yep, 2016 was our first halving. That got chopped down to 25 Bitcoin. That was way back here. And if you know this stuff, you already know, right? You know that when these things happen, when you create a supply shock and you stop making as much, all of a sudden the price ran up crazy. The last Bitcoin halving happened in 2020. They changed it from making 25 Bitcoin every 10 minutes to 12 and a half Bitcoin every 10 minutes. Let's mark that on the chart. That was May of 2020. What happened after that? Oh, no. Look at that. And the next Bitcoin halving, guys, is going to happen in 2024. I think June, July, somewhere in there, 2024. And so if you're looking at this as an investor, reminder, we're talking about investing, we're talking about long-term wealth, talking about store of value. If you're looking at this as an investor, it's like, holy cow, this asset is hyper growing. There's only 21 million of it. And there's this thing every 4 years where they drastically cut the amount of Bitcoin coming out. That is so bullish. That is so bullish, especially considering the alternative, what Bitcoin is priced in, because this says right here, right, Bitcoin US dollar, right? Meaning that Bitcoin isn't priced in dollars. And I don't have time on this call. I do not have time on this call. Shameless plug for myself right here. I do not have time on this call to explain this. I would get carried away for the rest of this call if I try to explain to you this right now. So I'm just going to point you in the direction of learning what the dollar really is. Because if you don't know, guys, the dollar obviously has lost this video right here. This video right here. Look at my YouTube, type this in, you'll find it. Watch this. Watch this video. Because the value of the dollar, guys, we can even look at the DXY, is the exact opposite trend. If we zoom out, and this only is a chart from 1986, the dollar loses value. So if we're comparing Bitcoin Bitcoin as a currency has a limited supply, there's only 21 million in it, and it's priced in a currency that has an unlimited supply. Yet I don't have time to educate you tonight completely on the dollar and how it works. But also know, guys, they it's kind of fucked up, excuse my language. Yeah, they don't even track how much dollars they're creating anymore. But if you can see right here, this is the amount of dollars that are created every single year, the money supply, the amount of money in circulation. You can see it sharply rose up when COVID introduced, and guess what? They are no longer continuing this series, meaning they will no longer tell you how much money is in supply. So we have an asset priced in a currency that they're going to make as much as they want, and they're not going to tell us how much it is. and that asset is inherently scarce, come on. Just giving those considerations of supply and demand, Bitcoin is obviously, I can't think of a much better asset you can put your money in for the long term, right? Now, considering the fact that we're going digital, we're going to go into a digital world with a metaverse. You don't think we're going to have digital money for a digital world? And yes, and so if you guys are brand new to cryptocurrency, brand new to this big picture idea, definitely start here. Watch this video after the Fed special. This is going to teach you all about the dollar and why our current monetary system is doomed to fail. And then if we go to my channel here, I also have a launch series for people so you can learn about Bitcoin, you can learn about Ethereum. It's right here, launch series for beginners. This is still very relevant information, right? How to capitalize on the markets, the basics of the market, a deep dive into Bitcoin and a deep dive into Ethereum. Still very relevant information. So if you're new, that's where you're going to go. That's what's going to put you on, get you plugged in, so these conversations make a little more sense to you. So looking at Bitcoin on the monthly here, obviously understand we have a big halving event coming up here in 2 years, right? And as you see in the past, after Bitcoin makes that high, generally it follows a consolidation pattern for a couple of years before it then creates another high. So one thing we're not in the business of is predicting the market. We're here to react to the market. I mean, we're here to respond to the market, not react. We're here to respond to the market, right? So can Bitcoin make a new high from here and continue this bull run? Absolutely. It absolutely could. You know, we're at a very key level here. We'll see that in our smaller time frame analysis. But the major level, when I do look at a monthly time frame, and it might scare some of you guys, is this $11,000 mark. 2 reasons. I mean, if you just look at it technically, you have a lot of imbalance here, imbalance here, imbalance here. This is your last disturbance candle, institution candle, order block, whatever you want to call it. That was the last time we saw a major monthly candle of bearishness before we saw this injection of money and excitement, euphoria, right? So this is a key level for me technically and also fundamentally. Why do I say fundamentally? Well, Bitcoin is created through a process called mining. And again, this is another topic I don't have all day to explain. I have a video of that on YouTube. But miners who create Bitcoin, well, it costs money to use electricity to mine Bitcoin. By the way, heard a lot of people say that, you know, Bitcoin's not good for the environment because it uses all this electricity and it's unsustainable. Did you guys know that the current monetary system, including the Federal Reserve, all of our centralized locations for ATMs and banking records, and all the energy that's used to secure a current monetary system, currently I think that takes more than 100 times more energy than Bitcoin does. So if anyone ever tells you that, that's bullshit. Like, Bitcoin is not energy intensive. Our current economic system is very energy intensive. This is way more efficient. That's a side note. But in Bitcoin, you have to mine Bitcoin, right? Mining, you use electricity. When you use electricity, electricity has a price. It's not free. It should be, but it's not free. But the current cost right now for a miner on average to create a single Bitcoin is about $11,000. That's how much it costs to create a Bitcoin for a miner. So very rarely in the past has Bitcoin ever dipped beneath that price of the cost to produce a Bitcoin. And so this is not only a huge level technically, but a huge level fundamentally. So this is my absolute rock bottom, just zooming out to a monthly time frame where I don't see Bitcoin getting, I don't even, honestly guys, I don't see it getting to this level, but this would be the level, like, this is like, that's the bottom. That's the key level I see here. But again, pointing out here in the monthly, another thing I noticed here, guys, and we're going to see this on those lower time frames, is we still have a lot of liquidity sitting here at 29,000. And, you know, a lot of us, including myself, are now beginning to enter into a stage of like, oh, crypto's on discount. Like, well, we should be buying, right? And yes, you should. And depending on your financial situation and your, like, what's going on with you, I'm not a financial advisor. You can't sue me. None of this webinar is any financial advice. These are just my opinions. But you know, a lot of people here, let's jump down here to the weekly time frame, are going to start looking at this market and they say, oh, look at it. Crypto held here at 29K. It held also right here at 29K the first time we were there. And, you know, as we're now approaching these same levels here at 30,000, 29,000, who knows, looking like we're actually kind of reacting off this. A lot of people, I'm anticipating actually for the market to have a nice little bounce here, especially considering if you know this is a Wyckoff accumulation that occurred here. You have some open orders here, and it's looking like how fast we got into it. Mike also dropped a really great chart on USDT. We're gonna drop it down here on the daily. And so yeah, we're at a definite zone where I think we're going to have some buyers enter the market, myself included. Right? That's because I'm buying for long term. I buy every week regardless. But I think we're going to see a bounce here, technically speaking. I really do. Just with this zone, like if you know, you know. Again, I don't have the time to explain Wyckoff mechanics, supply and demand on this call, but this is definitely a huge zone of demand, of supply. Excuse me. Sorry, this is a huge zone of supply for Bitcoin. Right. This 30,000 level. We bounced off my zone at 34. We got down to 32.99, right under 33K. Again, tapping right back into this last level where price is reversed. They pushed it down, pushed it straight up. We fill this imbalance. And so short to medium term, it wouldn't surprise me to see Bitcoin make a nice little bounce up from here. It really wouldn't. But I want to remind you, let's zoom back out here. I want to remind you here, we have a lot of liquidity sitting here still. And guys, think of how many people you know that got into crypto in the last year or two. Maybe you got into crypto last year or two. Because honestly, back in 2018, back in 2019, nobody was talking about crypto. Ain't nobody, there's not a, like, you know, if you've got in back here, like, dude, be grateful. Like, I'm like, be grateful. Like, you got in at prices we probably won't ever see again. But we have that was the past. We have to consider where we're at right now. So just think about this. Think of how many people have gone in somewhere in this last year or two from, let's say just in the last year, from January of last year. How many people have entered the crypto market in these times? I would say quite a few, and I would actually go to say the majority of participants, not the majority of money, but the majority of participants have entered the market in the last year. And most people, you know, if you were buying the lows, if you were buying here and buying here, a lot of the time you've been in profit. Maybe it's been a bit of a roller coaster. Your price gone up. You've been maybe in drawdown now, but unfortunately, if you the way I consider this, and you just do the big macro picture, and you're looking at this market, there's too many people in profit, and even considering the recent drop, because you know some people could pretty much stomach. I can stomach at 25. I bought it at 50. It's at 37. It's only down a little bit. You know, it's gonna bounce here, right? It's gonna bounce here, and then we're going to 100K. Like we're going to 100K. Guys, we are going to 100K, 100%. I think Bitcoin's going to go to $1 million. Again, want to keep both these ideas in your head. Like long term, yes, very, very bullish. But short term, we cannot rule out the possibility that this pain, this drop, this liquidation, because a lot of people are crypto's a scam. It's down. I'm glad I didn't get in, or I'm glad I take profits, or it's over. You know, like. There's a lot of also all it would take, guys, and it happened how many times already on this drop, where how many of us were when this happened, we're like, oh, that's it, or we're keeping structure, we're going higher, and then when this happened, like, oh, that's it, we're going higher, and then watch this happen again, oh, and then you know, because this trend right here, guys, this is bearish, this is very bearish. Whoops, this is very bearish. We are creating lower highs and lower lows. We are creating lower highs and lower lows. Until that changes again, I don't really look at crypto underneath a daily time frame. This is all the further we're going to go, right? And this structure is very bearish. So yeah, I consider potential for us to get up here. And then, guys, because I just can't rule this out, and it just makes sense to me. What do you guys think we're at max pain? Drop a 1 in the chat if you think, yo, this is max pain, like everyone's freaking, or do you think like this isn't quite over yet? Like, nah. I agree with you, Isaiah. I don't think we're at max pain yet either. Because Too much hope. Too many people. Yeah, like we have a like, everyone's, oh, this is the bounce, this is the dip by the dip. And guys, I recommend DCing. I think it's a great way to get your money in, to just automate, to not think about it. A 401k. That's a proven strategy, especially over. And it's not a strategy for like 1 year, 2 year gains. I'm talking a strategy for a portfolio to retire your family on, to build your longevity off of, right? That's 401ks. You do that every week, regardless of the market's up or not. Like, we're not talking about, so that's what we're talking about. Like, I do buy it, but I think we got some room to go lower, guys. Like, I think max pain is like, like, yeah, gives everybody, like, let's say it does one of these things. It's like, oh, look at this bottom, guys. We're not going lower. And then like, oh no, like that would be max pain, I think, maybe it doesn't take that long, or maybe it goes even faster. But like I at this point, you know, I can't see us not taking these lows, not doing something like what we did right here. Whoop, whoop. But all things considered, the longer that takes, right, the more opportunity you have to average in your price, right? Because here's also a thing I want to point out for you, and this is a really good point that I think a lot of the people who are very technical traders, very savvy Bitcoin people, very savvy crypto people, like, yeah, I knew it was going to go down. You should have got out, type thing. I want to point out, one, Bitcoin does that kind of thing. Let's look at when it did in the past. Like, Bitcoin dropped here November 18, took a nice little fat crash, come up, and then immediately pushed right back. And this is actually a really good opportunity. That's not like Bitcoin normally doesn't do it. Especially if we consider this one, like, look how fast Bitcoin dropped and then immediately pushed it back through. And so when that market dip occurs, unless you're prepared for it now and you're already planning for it, which is what I'm putting on your radar, a lot of people don't capitalize on these. They don't. Because one, it happens so quick. It's down there for a week, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, 5 weeks later, it's back up. And so, like, if you're trying to time the market, I mean, you could. This is just my opinion. This is my strategy. Again, I'm accumulating this asset, holding it for the rest of my life. I'm gonna be buying it this whole time, because I buy it every week. So, like back here, I bought that candle, 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 I bought that candle. But guess what? That was only like 8 weeks here. Most of my buys were all right here. So that's why I think DCA always wins. I think that's why DCA always wins when you're building a long-term portfolio for wealth in this market, and make it reasonable. Don't put like everything you got in here. Don't do that. I've made that mistake, right? Build other income streams. That's why we have day trading. That's why we have network marketing. That's why we have e-commerce. That's why we have even play to earn in crypto. That's why we have NFTs. There's so many other ways where you can flip your money on a day-to-day basis. And sure, crypto is a great opportunity as well. But like I said, I think a lot of people are chasing breadcrumbs and missing the damn cake, trying to flip this bag in crypto. I mean, you do you. I'm just telling you what I do. So I'm prepared for this, and I want you guys to be prepared for this. But I do definitely think crypto could definitely take these lows. And seeing it do so, this is also another key level I'm really interested in. Right here, 19,000, filling in this $20,000 gap. Right. And I think, yeah, this right here. So if it's fast, guys, I'm gonna be looking for it to rebound quicker than if it's slow. But if we just kind of, nice and steady, could be a while, guys. Put that in your head right now. Maybe no one's told you this, but put this in your head that Bitcoin might not make a new high for 2 more years. Are you ready for that? Are you prepared for that? What are you gonna do? Are you gonna sell your Bitcoin now? Or are you gonna start buying more and realizing, okay, maybe I put a little more capital than I intended to, but guess what? I've compounded a lot of a long-term asset. And the markets are gonna be the markets, and major fundamentals, black swans, guys. We live in a time in a world where crazy shit happens every other day. I swear to God. Like, yo, crazy shit be happening all the time. All the time, you know what I'm saying? So, like, I'm not trying to be sitting on the sidelines. What if I'm wrong? Shit, I could be wrong. Consider that too, guys. Like, I could totally be wrong, and this is the bottom. This is the mitigation off here. This is the setup for the new high, and then a lower low and high. Either way, I'm in. I'm accumulating. I'm not overexposed. And again, like I'm here to like give you this long-term perspective, put the big picture ideas, explain these things to you guys. And if you guys also, side note, if there's any kind of topics you guys want me to make videos on or remake videos, this video as soon as it's over is gonna be on my YouTube. I want to just build out that resource and like kind of be that resource for you guys in terms of that big understanding. I've studied this stuff for years and years and years. Um, and there's a lot of things like big picture ideas, like including the dollar, including interest rates, and including mining, and Bitcoin now has smart contracts. I'm going to talk about smart contracts. You can't ignore this guy over here, Ethereum. And Ethereum is like, whew, yeah, Ethereum looks like it could have some room to drop too, right? And, if you one thing with cryptocurrencies, where Bitcoin goes everybody, because still today Bitcoin dominates 42%, 42% of the market, right? You can see that up here too. Bitcoin makes up 42% of the market, almost half, right? So where Bitcoin goes, everything goes. But yeah, I'm always open to suggestions, guys. I'm going to be doing some podcasts in the near future with some of your favorite mentors, some of your favorite people to learn from. I'll be picking their brains, what they think about the big picture, what's going on with the market. So I'm always open to feedback and comments, though, and I really appreciate all of you guys here. But yeah, don't ever hesitate to slide in my DMs if you want to even get on a call and just ask questions that you might have, or even now, like I'm going to kind of put that idea out here right now. If anybody has any questions, I'll kind of keep it open like the last 10 minutes for some Q&A. I think that's really informative, and I want to fill in the knowledge gaps where they are. So there's no such thing as a silly question. There's just lazy questions, just being lazy and just not asking the question is lazy. What platform do you buy your crypto? Good question. So for most of us who live in the United States, you have a few options. Gemini is a really good place. I like Gemini. I'm not a big fan of these guys, but I mean, if it works for your bank, it works. These guys have pretty good fees. Coinbase is another one. Crypto.com is a good one. I've been using crypto.com, and those are basically my big three in the US for buying cryptos. So good question. Then if you're outside the US, you're gonna have to look into your market, which ones. I think some of those do actually work outside the US as well. Have any coins you're looking into for long term? Oh yeah, I have a bunch of those coins. So yeah, and guys, anytime you ever see anything from me in the Discord, in our chats, any kind of coins I'm looking at, you can take a peek here. The purple ones are the ones I have in my personal portfolio. And yeah, I mean, shit. If you guys are here, I'll give you the sauce. Take some pictures because I don't have time to explain them all today. But I have a quite portfolio of over 30 coins. There's a lot of projects, and all the projects I'm holding are things that all these ones in green are things that I've done the research on. I've vetted with other people who have done the research on things that I believe have long-term staying potential. Projects and coins I think will be around for a long time that are really like, yeah. And will every one of these coins be a hit? Well, some of them, no. Like some of these coins probably will go to zero, like for sure. But currently, also I'm full transparency with you guys here. And that's what I'm here to do is like, most of my portfolio, a third of my portfolio is in Bitcoin, a third of my portfolio is in Ethereum, and then the other 33% are speculative, all in those altcoins I showed you. So I'm really big into Bitcoin and Ethereum. And we can go, let's break down Ethereum real quick here while we have some time. But good questions, guys. I appreciate you. I'll do research as a start. Yeah, thoughts on affect DXY as on Bitcoin just because DXY moves so much less percentage wise in crypto? Good question. Really good question. Who's that? Springer. Oh man. Coinbase Pro is a fee and it's free. Yep, Coinbase Pro definitely if you're gonna use Coinbase. Oh, and I'm gonna get to this question real quick before I answer yours, Tyler. What does the crypto you buy have to qualify as good crypto? Oh yeah. My man, I got you. I got I'm pretty sure this episode, also this one, the different types of crypto. And man, like, yeah, I got a lot of stuff on my YouTube. I want to make sure like you guys, like I'll give you short answers and like, if you want to find long answers, Top DeFi projects. These are all kind of time sensitive. Top under. Where is it? I know I have one. Maybe I have to make another one. I'm pretty sure it's this one right here. But like, there's a few categories I look for. Number one is what the hell is it for? Like, what the hell is it for? And one of the major things that will disqualify a coin for me, um, is if the coin's only purpose is to make money. That's not what this is about. Anybody can make any fucking coin they want. And it's like, oh, it's going to $1. It's gonna make us all billionaires. Like, dude, it has to be more than just a coin to make people money. Pump and dump coins, I'm not interested in for long term, obviously, right? Because what happens? People pull the rug. So number one, what the hell does it do? What the hell does it do? It's got to do something other than just to make people money. Bitcoin's a store of value. Ethereum's a world computer that runs applications on it. Holy shit! Like, we could go on to those. I have videos, like hour-long videos that just goes into the use cases and why those are so valuable, right? But yeah, Bitcoin's solving a major problem. The world's currency is garbage. Dollar is worth nothing. They make it out of thin air. Again, don't get me started. This is going to be the new reserve currency. This is a store of value. That's a huge, huge problem it solves. Ethereum's a world computer, a decentralized world computer, run decentralized applications, run decentralized governments, run DeFi. Holy shit. So number one, what's its use? Number two, who the heck made it? Who the heck made it? Is it some company that's trying to make a profit? Was it some guy that just gave it to the world? Was it a team of people? And what do they do with it? Did they give away most of it for free? Did they hold on to half of it for themselves? So number two, the team, what they did with it. And then number three, just the fun tokenomics. Like, how many coins are there? Is there a max supply? Are they releasing more coins? Are the coins actually being burned? Like, how does the coin issuance work? What's the economics of it? Because if you create a coin, a billion of them, and you just release more and more of them, why would that hold any value? That's the dollar, right? If you create a coin that's finite and you create less and less of it, holy crap, now we're talking some incentives. If you create a coin that has this kind of utility to run a computer like Ethereum or a network like Ethereum. So the coin, the tokenomics, what's the demand for it? And like, what's the supply? And then what's the issuance? And then number four, I'm going to look into like the hype, like I'm going to look into the social presence. Do people know about this? Are people aware? Whose eyes are on this? Because sometimes like, unfortunately, in the world, like, some of the best technology I think that's ever been invented, Nikola Tesla, unfortunately didn't have enough people and supporters and backers. And so some technology, even though it could change the world, never sees the light of day because it doesn't have enough people behind it. So again, one, what the heck does it do? Two, who are the people that did it? What are they doing? What are their intentions? Three, does the tokenomics make sense? Just economics, math. And then four, like, does this have a backing? Can people get behind this? Are people going to find out about this? So that was kind of a long-winded answer, but really good question. Ethereum Classic, that is a great example because Ethereum Classic is the essential of the real Ethereum. They forked Ethereum because of the hack and they wanted to change it. Ethereum Classic said, no, we can't do that. So first principle, can't change the blockchain, but dude, nobody gives a fuck about Ethereum Classic. I'm Savage, guys. That's what my name is. But yeah, no, Ethereum Classic's been dropping ever since. I don't think it'll ever get near Ethereum. The only reason people buy Ethereum Classic because they think they're buying Ethereum and they bought the wrong one. Like, nobody uses it. I get their principles, but nobody uses it. And so that's a good example where number four, it fails. Like, it doesn't have a community. It doesn't have that support. Like, everyone's on Ethereum, not Ethereum Classic. So it is the OG Ethereum. It is the real chain. But yep. There's my favorite educators on what's the educator favorito de Live. What educators I recommend? Mike Navarrete, dude. You guys, come on. You guys have a freaking god amongst men. Like, dude, honestly, there's nobody I know that's ever taken this information and gone 0 to 100 with it as quick as Mike Navarrete. Like, dude is tapped into some other Super Saiyan sauce. Like, yo, guys, like, don't take that guy for granted. You have direct access to him on our Discord. That is the OG, the best. Asset accumulators, Zach and Jordan. I talk to Jordan and Zach a lot, especially Jordan. He's my main mentor and resource when it comes to cryptocurrency and these big picture ideas. Curtis Cobain, he's amazing. And Mike Sotero, Curtis Cobain and Mike Sotero. Those guys are plugged in with the DeFi. Curtis Cobain, if you like me, you'll love Curtis Cobain. He does the same stuff. He's talking about the big picture. What's the bags? What are the things we're gonna hold? We're gonna buy. What are our blue chips? Like, where can we put that money for it to go to work, being a legit project? Curtis Cobain's all up in that sauce. Mike Sotero as well. And then I'm not, unfortunately, I don't watch as much of the Spanish Go lives. I do understand Spanish, but other than Mike, so I don't have anybody on the Spanish side. My man Richards, but yeah, those guys in English are beast, are beast. And then I wanted to get to Tyler's question: thoughts on effect DXY has on Bitcoin. So I mean, I think they are definitely correlated for sure, and DXY is something that we definitely keep our eyes on because this is, I guess you'd say, the purchasing power of the dollar against Forex currencies, which is an interesting thing because this doesn't, I don't think this graph incorporates, or maybe it does and it's just built in. I'm not actually an expert on DXY and how this index works, but just technically speaking, this is what I'm looking at, this zone here. I do think with interest rates coming, higher interest rates coming, Federal Reserve kind of tightening on the money printing, that the dollar will gain some of that value. And I think we could push up into here, and I'm looking for this trend to break. But obviously our major monthly trend, looks like a big distribution here to me. And this dollar is just setting up to eventually die, right? And this could take years, could take months. When the economic recession of 2007, 2008 happened, and we saw, dollar lose a lot of its value, purchasing power compared to assets relatively. It took months. There's a lot of traders, if you've seen the big short, that anticipated it way early. So, the Fed could really kick this can down the road for a couple more months and years, to be honest. And, that could align with that whole halving and long-term perspective we had on Bitcoin. So I think dollar is very correlated, but again, I'm not a DXY, I would say, is very correlated to, and the dollar obviously is the world reserve asset. So what the dollar does kind of influences how everybody invests and trades, So with interest rates and coming up, and the crazy 2 years we've had in all markets, stocks, housing, equities, derivatives, bonds, freaking crypto, like everything, gold, silver's been one thing. Silver, guys, silver. Can't go into that, but silver. Considering how all these assets have done, like we could see a couple of years of recession, of retracement from that. And, the dollar gaining its power back would be signaling that those assets would actually be losing a little power against the dollar. And again, I don't know if this index is just DXY. I know it is compared to other Forex currencies, but I don't know if that incorporates all the other asset classes. But generally speaking, I think it does. I'd have to get back to that entire, but yeah, I kind of am pretty bullish on dollar short term. No reason to go against this trend right now until we see a major break of this structure right here. But yeah, I think dollar could push up higher, and that could send most asset classes lower. So, yes, sir. I'm always coming. Miami's the vibe, yo. Miami, the X is the vibe. Number two, the team at number two is the team, like, who made it? What did they do with the coins when they made it? Did they keep some for themselves? Did they give it out to everybody? What's the team doing? Just like the people behind the coin is the main number two thing I'm looking at when it comes to cryptocurrencies. Soon, papi, pronto, muy pronto, muy pronto. Espero que sí, bro. I mean, yeah, I'm just here to educate, man. Just share the shit I know. I'm not always right. I hope you guys find value from this, and I appreciate all these questions, guys. I really do. I really do. This, I think, makes the session valuable for everybody. I know I can go on rants, I go on tangents, and I can just say a lot of stuff, and it can be a lot very intense. So the questions help me slow down and kind of get back on some topics that you guys find relevant. So I think that helps everybody in the chat. So thank you everybody who was asking questions, because I know you're bringing value to not just yourself, but everybody else around you, learning with you. And yeah, you guys are awesome. And this was awesome, guys. So look forward to seeing some more of these from me. I'll probably be keeping these every couple of weeks or so. I don't think I'll be doing it every week, just because the information I'm sharing is more about the macro long-term trends. I got some shameless plugs to do right now. You can find me on Instagram at Jordan La Crypto Savage. La Crypto Savage. I can't spell. You can find me on YouTube at Jordan LaSavage. My Instagram used to be my name. My name's pretty dope. I love it, but some asshole hacked me and took my page, so I made a new one on Instagram. But on YouTube, I still got my name as my handle. Find me on there. I got so many YouTube videos. This video will be up there as soon as it's done. And then also, I have a Telegram for you guys. Everybody loves Telegram, right? I do. I love Telegram. Um, but I have a Telegram chat for you guys where I drop like different news articles that I think are relevant, things like that. And I'm gonna drop that for you guys here in the chat so you can all hop in there. And I drop charts every now and then. That's where I kind of just keep everybody updated. It's almost like I think a precursor to a newsletter I might be doing, one day. I might start a fund, that's way down the road, but I like keeping people informed and sharing my ideas. So that's my Telegram. I drop a lot of stuff in there. Not every day, but I'll be dropping sauce in there. So hop in there. It's totally free. Share it with all your friends, people that want to learn about crypto. And I drop the Zooms in there and stuff. But yeah, guys, I appreciate all of you guys so much. Stay tuned for more content from me. And again, always you feel to slide in my DMs on Discord, on the gram. I'm on Facebook as well. So feel free. I'm always down to talk about crypto, share what I know, mastermind. And I'm sure I can learn some stuff from y'all. So I appreciate every one of you guys. Peace out. Until next time. Buy Bitcoin, short the banks. You already know. Peace.